This is a story of Rumplestiltskin. Deep in the forest and beside a river, a man lived with his clever daughter Eve. One day, the man met the king. The man wanted the king to know that Eve was smart, so he told the king she could do something amazing, turn straw into gold. The king loved money very much. After hearing the man's story, he called Eve to his castle. The king said, "You must spin all this straw into gold by morning. If you don't, you will be locked away forever." Oh, Eve began to cry. She was alone in a room with a pile of straw and spinning wheel. Just then, a tiny man appeared. He asked what was wrong. She said, "My father told the king I can spin straw into gold, but I can't. So the king will lock me away forever." She cried even harder. The man said he could turn the straw into gold. He would do it if she gave him a gift. Eve offered her necklace. He began spinning. The king arrived the next morning. He was delighted when he saw all the gold, but he was also greedy. He locked Eve up again, this time with even more straw. He told her to spin. The poor girl could not spin straw into gold. The tricky little man returned. "What will you give me if I spin the straw into gold again?" he asked. "You can have this beautiful ring on my finger," she said. He agreed and spun the gold all night long. When the king saw all the glittering gold the next morning, his eyes got big and bright. He took Eve to an even bigger pile of straw. He said, "If you spin this gold by morning, you will be my queen." But when the little man arrived, Eve had nothing left to offer him. He grinned and looked at all the straw. "If I spin this into gold tonight, you must give me your firstborn child." That's what he said. Eve did not think she would ever have a child, so she agreed. When the king saw the piles of gold the next morning, he married Eve. She became queen. By the time the queen had their first child, she had forgotten all about the little man. But one day, a little man came knocking. He reminded her of the promise. The queen loved her child very much. She could never give him up. "I will come back each day for 3 days. If you can guess my name by the third day, you can keep the child," said the little man. The queen wrote down all the names she could think of. She sent messengers to collect the names of everyone in town. On the first day, the little man returned. The queen told him all the names she knew: Tim, Ben, Jeremy, John, Paul, Harvey, David, Adam, Michael, William, Henry, George, Sam, Jack. "You did not guess my name," said the little man. "I will be back tomorrow." The second day, the little man came back. The queen listed the strangest names she could think of: Tweedledee-doo, Billbug, Darzak, Ichabod, Janati, Snicklebottom, Bandly Eggs, Hammy Toe, mimic, Jacobo. Wrong again, said the little man. Tomorrow is your last chance. That night, one of the messengers returned that he had seen a little man spinning straw into gold. The messenger had heard the man singing to himself. Although the land I claim, the queen shall never know my name. It is Rumplestiltskin. The queen was overjoyed. The next day, the little man arrived at the castle. He was sure the queen would not know his name. So what is my name? He asked. The queen whispered into the little man's ear. Your name is Rumplestiltskin, she said. Oh no, that is my name, Rumplestiltskin said. He became very mad. His face turned red. Rumplestiltskin ran far off into the woods. Some say he ran off the edge of the world. He was never seen again. The queen kept her son. They lived happily ever after. The end.